Hey everybody, it is April 15th. I'm Adam and this is your Daily Dose of Today. Today we're going to attempt to use a little bit of technology, do some fact checking, and apply a little bit of math to understand why you should be very encouraged if 99% of the world doesn't care about what you do or know who you are. Alexa, what is the current world population?
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the world population today is approximately 7.57 billion.
7.57 billion with a B. That is an insane amount of people. Now, some of you might be math majors and running ahead, but Alexa, what is 1% of 7.57 billion?
1% of 7.57 billion is 75.7 million.
75.7 million. There's only been a handful of people in the whole of human history that can claim to have that kind of reach and have that kind of impact. And not all of it's been good, right? A lot of people can claim that in a very bad way. But think about that. So if 99% of the world doesn't care about what you do or who you are, and only 1% does, 75 million people, north of 75 million. Crazy. But let's put this a little bit closer to where you live. Alexa, what is 0.001% of 7.57 billion?
0.001% of 7.57 billion is 75,700.
So 1,000th of 1% is, we'll say 75,000 people. Now, unless you're moderately successful, quasi-successful, and depending on which domain you're in, not many people have that kind of impact. I mean, mayors of large towns and, obviously people that are in politics at the state level and higher have that kind of impact. Again, not always positive. If you're a professional athlete and so on, obviously your numbers get well north of that. But look, many successful people today have a much smaller impact radius. It doesn't mean they're not successful. It doesn't mean they're not great. But think about that. 75,000 people. If you were able to positively impact that many people, what a difference that would be in the world. But I'm going to tell you, it doesn't even take that much. If we go all the way down to 1/1,000,000th of 1% of the world's population, that's 75 people. And I'm going to challenge each of you right now to think of 75 people that you positively have an impact on. Chances are some of you do, right? But I bet you struggle to think about that. But the reason why I say this is because you have an ability to make an impact on 75 people around you, 1/1,000,000th of 1% of the world's population. And what a difference that makes. And again, this is not about, I need more than 75 people to buy into my business. This isn't about monetization at all. This isn't about what you can get. Look, if you want to be successful, you hear me say this again, you have to pour into other people. The rest will come back. I'm telling you, if you can pour into 75 people, let's take this for example. Something that seems completely selfish, weight loss, right? You do that for yourself, no doubts. There might be other external reasons, but it has to be for you, right? You have to want this. But if because of your weight loss journey or your fitness journey, whatever it is, because of the journey that you've made and people see your progress, if you have encouraged 75 people along the way to get off the couch, to start eating healthier, to get on their bike, to start swimming, whatever it is, if you've inspired that many people, isn't that tremendous? To be known by 75 people, to be known for your weight loss or your fitness journey and inspiring them. And yes, think about the impact you have on them and on their lives and how far that touches. But don't you think for a moment that if you have 75 people that you know you've impacted by that, do you not think that inside of you wells up something that makes you want to double down and stay true to that and stay committed to that and not fail for yourself and for these other people that are watching? You bet it does. I've experienced the same thing, but now 75 people, at least not counting that way, but even just 3 or 4 or 5 people with this. This is hard. Sometimes I have to do takes like 37 times, like this one, because the Alexa doesn't work all the time. And sometimes like, oh, it's so frustrating. Maybe I shouldn't do one. But you know what? I know people are watching. I know some people count on this, right? And it's just a handful of people. I'm not even close to 75, but it makes that much positive an impact. So if you start pouring into others, look at the behavior, it starts with changing you. And isn't that what you want? You want accountability. You want that drive to go after your goals and go get it. So I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do about this today? Start where you are. Make out a plan on how you're going to go after that 1/1,000,000th of 1% of the world and make a positive impact in their lives. This has been your Daily Dose of Today.